Hey everyone, thank you all for being here. Certainly appreciate that. Welcome to another Power Hour here hosted by the Greater Chambersburg Chamber of Commerce. I am the membership director of the Greater Chambersburg Chamber of Commerce, Jordan Nace, and I just wanted to let folks know what exactly these Power Hours were designed for. They're really good, sort of inspirational tools for us all here that are struggling with being kept indoors, and we need some positivity during this COVID-19 pandemic. So our first Power Hour we did with Randy Wilson from Real PD, and he delivered a great message about navigating through a crisis. Our second Power Hour was done with Amy Horn from Ad Taxi, and they really gave us a message that was designed towards our small businesses and, towards our small businesses from a marketing and e-commerce standpoint. And now this week, I'm really excited to bring on somebody that I admire a lot. She is a yoga instructor, a health and wellness coach. More importantly, the joyful mama of two who transforms a no-go attitude into a mojo attitude. My good friend, Kim Crider. Kim, wanted to say thank you so much for coming on here this afternoon, and really, really excited to, obviously we're stuck here in this Zoom world right now. I'm constantly hunched in front of my computer, stressed out, and I want to get us de-stressed. So hopefully you can help us all out today. Want to turn the floor over to you. I ask that everybody that comes in here, if you don't mind, I believe this beginning part will be a Q&A. So feel free to unmute yourselves and speak with Kim. But as we go through the yoga type period, if you don't mind, mute yourselves. And again, maybe at the end, we'll open it up for another question and answer type period. But Kim, floor is yours. Again, thank you so much for being here this afternoon.
Oh, my pleasure. I am so glad to see everybody. I am sitting here looking out my window and it's raining. So even when we are done with all our Zoom meetings, sometimes it's still difficult to get outside. So what I thought I would do is chat first about yoga, meditation, and mindfulness, what it is, and then supply some tips for maybe navigating through a work day. And then we would go into a yoga routine, a seated yoga routine that can be done on the floor, in a chair, or technically standing. So so for this first part, please feel free to unmute and jump in if you have questions, and I'll try to, or put them up in the chat, and maybe Jordan can kind of monitor that part if you don't want to speak. So to start off, I'll give just and this is a very broad overview of yoga, meditation, and mindfulness. So meditation is sort of the big umbrella, and yoga and mindfulness fall underneath that umbrella. So, we'll be doing a little bit of all three during our yoga session. That's why I wanted to talk about that. So meditation is getting you into a state where you are able to work on quieting the mind. One of the myths of meditation is that you have to be able to completely think of nothing. And that's the eventual state, but it takes a lot of practice and a lot of years to get there. So you might start meditating just by 1, 2, or 3 breaths. And that's as long as you can go with quieting the mind. So it's a process that you scale up over time. You can tell I've been on business Zoom meetings. I'm using words like scale up in a yoga conversation. So that's meditation. Mindfulness, and you can give a wave of the hands. How many people are familiar with mindfulness, have heard of mindfulness? Okay, cool. So mindfulness is being fully in the present. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say right now, at least one person on this call isn't paying attention to what I'm saying. Just statistics, right? And that's not meaning to be negative toward that. That's just how our minds work. So In other words, you're trying to listen to me. You may be seeing your phone or your Outlook binging with a calendar reminder or an email, or maybe you're at home and you hear kids in the background and you don't want to unmute. So you have all these little things going in the back of your mind. Mindfulness is being aware of those things, but not attaching any judgment or emotion or creating any commentary around those things. And I'll explain that in a second. So using the examples that I just gave, you have kids in the background while we're talking now, or maybe when you're at work. And you can, for mindfulness, you would just label that kids playing or kids making noise. In real life, what are our kids doing? Oh my gosh, are they getting into the potato chips? I told them not to do that until lunchtime. You know, we start creating this commentary. Or you're sitting at your desk and you're trying to focus and be fully present, and you see your phone start to blow up with a message from a coworker who, I don't know, maybe they don't necessarily keep up with their job in the way that you would hope. And so you start to say, what do they want now? They are probably sitting there not doing a thing, and I have to do all that work. So we start to attach judgment. And then in both of those instances, emotion can come into play. So being mindful, again, takes practice, and it is being fully present, being aware of what's going on around you, labeling maybe what's going on around you, and then letting it go. Attaching no judgment, creating no commentary, attaching no emotion. That's an overview of mindfulness. Yoga is kind of a moving meditation. So some people think of yoga as exercise. It certainly is that. It was originally meant to wear out the body so the mind would more easily meditate, right? I don't know how many of you feel better after you've moved. A walk, a run, a hike, a bike ride, whatever it happens to be, you feel better. That's how yoga was meant to be used. So having said all of that, I'm going to take a pause and find out if anybody has any questions about anything I just said or about yoga, meditation, mindfulness in general.
You know, Kim, I guess from just opening up a question for you would be, you know, mindfulness and just I guess like the whole enlightenment period. It's funny. I kind of relate that to things I've like seen on TV, like mindfulness or being in the basically you see these things on TV where it's like they hit your head or whatever, then all of a sudden you're good to go or whatever. Obviously, that's not what you're talking about here. But
oh, that would be nice, but that doesn't happen in real life.
right. So yeah, that's just a facade, I imagine. Really, it's just all about your own personal being and you being able to get into your own personal little, I guess, bubble and be able to get into the state of mindfulness, I suppose, correct?
Yeah, it's a personal practice that you can set time aside for, but you can also practice it actively throughout your day. And again, I keep using the word practice purposefully because it does take a lot of practice. You know, I've been doing this since I was about in 6th grade, on and off. Yoga teacher, I don't know, I stink at remembering dates, 4 or 5 years. And it's constant. It's just, and I don't mean that again in a negative way, but just to let you guys know, it's not something you're gonna try once and get it. It's a constant practice, and you might practice a minute a day to start, and that's fine, and work up to additional time. Did that help, Jordan?
I'm sorry, I muted myself. It absolutely did. Yes. Have a funny comment here from Rick. He said, "My mindful is retirement." Ha ha.
That is a comment that I would expect from Rick Heckman. He mentions retirement just a little bit.
Hey, Kim, did you know I was retired?
Yeah, I know. I had no idea. You never talk about it. Um, so we're going to be later on in the power hour. I will take you through a yoga practice that will include a little mindful breathing, of course, yoga, and then we'll do a little meditation at the end, guided meditation. Meditation can come in all kinds of forms. There's tons of different apps out there. Some are free, some are paid, that you can start using if this is of interest to you to practice meditation and mindfulness. I have a bunch on my phone. The one I use the most is Calm, C-A-L-M. That one works for me. But my goodness, there are so many out there. I encourage you to check that out. So what I'll do now is shift gears a little bit and talk about, and it sounds like Randy might have done something similar. I apologize. I didn't get a chance to look at his power hour from a couple of weeks ago. But what I was going to do today is just give tips on how to manage day to day when everything is uncertain and not our typical routine. Is that okay with folks on the call? Yeah.
Me personally, that's excellent. That's exactly what I was thinking you would cover today, Kim. So perfect. Please go right ahead.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Wonderful. The first thing I would recommend is finding a routine. It's not going to be your normal routine, or maybe for some of you it is. You may be an essential worker and you're out doing your thing like you normally would be, and thank you for that. But find some sort of routine. Even in retirement, we need routine, Ricky Heckman. So we need to find a routine where we are including, and again, I'm being broad here, we're including quiet time for ourselves, time for our children, time for our work if we are working from home, time for some sort of healthy, even if it's one healthy snack or meal a day, if that's all you can swing. But finding a way to make your routine as routine. You can edit that part out of the video.
No editing, Kim. There's no editing here.
Uh-oh. So those kinds of things help ground you. You know you're going to get up and do this, and then you're going to do this, and then it's going to be followed by this. Those sorts of routine can take a little bit of time to get in place, but they're really helpful to help ground you throughout your day, and then that spills over to your kids as well if you have kiddos at home, to get them in a routine as well, because they're all out of whack. They're not in school. So having that routine for them is helpful. Within that routine, schedule your negativity. And what I mean by that is, it is so easy to start listening to the news, reading the news, scrolling through Facebook, and get caught up in a loop of negativity. There's a lot of COVID news out there. There's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of folks who don't agree, and it's easy to get caught up in that and let that kind of take over your day, your morning, your afternoon, whatever it is. So schedule 10 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever you feel like you need, and then put it away. If I could tell you anything, it's limit that as much as possible. Keep yourself informed, but limit how much you let yourself get sucked into that kind of information. The next thing that I would tell you is, or suggest, as much as we're able, given the current weather, I know we're expecting a lot of rain, is to try to get outside. That may mean the best you're able to do is just sit in your yard, because you don't feel comfortable taking a walk in your neighborhood or getting out much further than your own yard. anything to get you in touch with nature, putting your feet in the grass if you're just in your own yard, taking a walk in your neighborhood if you're comfortable and can get to a place where you can maybe take a hike. Again, practicing social distancing even when we're out exercising. If you are out exercising and you are in close contact and can't social distance, just have a mask nearby. And but as much as you're able, try to get some time each day to get out in nature. If you can't get out in nature, find some time to be physically active, even if that's inside. What I do a lot of times is when I'm on a call and it's just our internal team, they know I'm going to turn my video off and I'm going to walk in my house while I'm talking. I actually think better when I'm moving. But so I try to get steps in that way. So if you're on a Zoom call and it's just like your internal folks, maybe you're just up pacing back and forth. Maybe your video's on, maybe it's off. If you're not working in the evenings or during the day and you're watching television, walk during commercials. Most hour-long shows, that's changed a little bit with the advent of Netflix and Hulu, but most hour-long shows have about 20 minutes of commercials. So in 1 hour-long show, if you walk during the commercials, you've gotten 20 minutes of steps in. If you watch 2 hours of TV, you've got a 40-minute walk in. So getting some physical activity in, getting outside in nature. And again, you might have to structure this into your routine. Maybe it can't be every day. Maybe it's only on the weekends. Maybe it's, once or twice during the week. The other thing that will help is stay connected. That's going to look really different for all of us. Staying connected with neighbors, maybe it's, calling. I have elderly neighbors that live next door. I'll go knock on their door and then stand in the driveway and just kind of, they open their door and we chit chat because I know their kids can't come see them. And they really are sheltered in place. And then, you could make phone calls, send text messages, Facebook messages. Zoom is free for 30 to 40 minutes. So maybe you throw up a Zoom chat and Zoom, Facebook Messenger chat. I think you can do that too. Not super sure. The United Way is starting a pen pal program where you can write letters to folks in nursing homes. There's lots of going on right now where to keep you to either connect on your own or volunteer to connect with people out in the community, but find a way to keep connected, especially if you're live at home by yourself or have lots of time by yourself. I would encourage you to stay connected in whatever way you can and as positively connected as you can. Again, it's easy to get caught up in conversations that can be negative or turn negative, and I would encourage you to limit that as much as possible. I know that's not always easy if those conversations happen in your own household. And the other part that I wanted to chat about was making sure as best you're able that you're getting a good night's sleep. Very quickly, that would include keeping your room very cool, about 68 degrees is best. Keeping your room dark. Getting rid of any electronic devices out of your bedroom, particularly a TV. And again, I'm not going in depth on a lot of this stuff. So if you have questions about why that is, let me know. And that you have disconnected from work or TV or whatever it is, a good 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime. Bedtime's a great time to set up a routine. So your body and your mind start preparing themselves for bed. Getting a good night's sleep, eating healthy as much as you're able, and focusing on what we're able to control. There are certain things we're able to control right now. which is we can't control whether or not we get sick, but we can control what we do to practice prevention, washing our hands, social distancing, wearing a mask if you're out in public, those sorts of things. So focusing on what we can control. There's a lot we can't control right now. We can't control when we go back to work if we're not working at all. We can't control maybe our finances right now, but focusing on the parts of that that you can control is the best you can do and will keep you the happiest and most effective. This will not be a perfect process. And I certainly can say for me personally, there are days when you think, oh man, we're coming out of this, that we're going to be back at work tomorrow or the next week. And then you think, oh man, we may not be back to work until June. So, just this roller coaster. So trying to focus on what you can control as much as you're able. And then lastly, I happen to be a fan of Mr. Rogers. And one of the things that he always said was, in times of crisis or disaster, the way to keep yourself grounded is to focus on the helpers, focusing on the uplifting story of people who are helping. And I would take that a step further and encourage anybody on listening to this to become a helper in some small capacity, in whatever way you're able to become a helper, whatever that means to you. I find that particularly helpful. And sharing uplifting stories with people that you connect with to try to help keep your own morale up and in turn keep the morale of other folks up. Those are my biggest tips. I'll certainly, again, I'm going to pause here and open up the line to find out if there are other tips. I've not been monitoring the chat. I've been just like spewing my my knowledge here. So if you have, Jordan, I don't know if you're monitoring the chat, if there are questions or comments that you want me to address, or if somebody wants to unmute and chat, please feel free.
Well, I'm sure we'll probably have somebody that wants to unmute and start to chat, but we do have just, some people commenting here on the side. And when you brought up the nature thing and whatnot, we have conversation of our dogs and stuff being in nature, walking longer distances in the house to use the furthest bathroom of the out of the way. So, people are certainly trying a couple of different things. And just obviously to hit home your points, Kim, I mean, the big ones I got out of there was be in nature, make sure you get a good sleep every night. We want to stay together. You want to be in a routine, and we want to be a helper. And now just from my own personal thoughts on all of that, I was always one before all of this that, routine was a good thing, but it was something that, at a certain point it got to be, man, I'm so sick of routine. I'm so sick of routine.
Yeah.
But it's very funny now that we're obviously in this scenario that we're in now. And it's like, I'm craving for a routine. It's like, I want to get back to the gym so bad. I just want to be back at the office every day. I want to be out and about visiting people, seeing how they're doing. And the routine process is really not there right now. So I think it's very, very important for all of us to get back into having some sort of routine, however odd that may be.
Yeah. Yeah. And it'll be routine for you temporarily. And I was watching, and I apologize, I didn't see who posted it about uplifting news. I would encourage you to find time to laugh every day, whether that's over some memes or some YouTube videos. And yeah, just find time to laugh and find something joyful. There can be a lot of guilt in doing that sometimes, especially if things are a little rough for you personally, or maybe somebody that you care about. But it's good for our overall health. We want to keep our own immune systems as healthy as possible, right? So I would encourage laughing and finding time for joy for sure.
Anybody else have anything they'd like to share? Obviously, you guys feel free to unmute yourselves. Jenny, do you have something you'd like to share?
I was just going to say, I always have struggled with having definition between work and home. And so when I have work and home in the same spot, in the same physical spot, it's very difficult to walk away because it's all kind of muddied. And I have spent years trying to define that, and it was pretty good until right now. So it took me a couple weeks to kind of say, golly, you got to be able to do that because you won't ever turn off. And I feel it like right in here. It's like I'm just like, oh my gosh, holding it all. So that's one thing is realizing that it's all in the same physical location now. And when you can drive away from a work physical spot, you can release it a little bit. So that's been difficult for me early on, and still is. But I'm aware of it. I guess awareness is a big thing for me.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Jenny. And I have found myself, logging on at 7:30 in the morning, and I hate to admit it, but in full transparency, I mean, there's some nights I work until 10:30, and I have to, snap myself back to, I'm going to take a 30-minute break and walk away, step outside, whatever, because I tend to be a worker bee. So I could sit and work and work and work and work, but you bring an excellent point of trying to separate the two. And it can be difficult, but again, that's where that routine comes into play. You're setting up time to step away, even multiple times a day, sometimes maybe for 10 minutes, sometimes for 30 minutes. And sometimes, you close your laptop at 5 o'clock or turn off your desktop at 5 o'clock and try not to come back until morning. And again, in full transparency, I'm not always great about that. So I need to practice that myself. And we are right at 4:30. And Jordan, do I have another 20 minutes or so?
You absolutely do, Kim. You have actually a whole nother 30 minutes if you'd like it. So
yeah, okay. Well, I wanted to save a little time for questions or comments at the end. So I'll save 5 to 10 minutes. But what I'm going to do now, so you've got some options here. I'm going to lead you through a seated yoga practice. You can do it along with me. You can take yourself off video if you don't want anybody to see that you're practicing. You can just watch and listen. Whatever you feel most comfortable with, I would encourage. I am going to get up out of the chair that I'm in and readjust my laptop so I'm further back so you can see what I'm doing. And it might take a little bit of finagling to get my laptop camera just in the right place for you to be able to see me from seat up. So give me a second to do that. And you guys can decide if you want to take yourself off video to join the yoga practice, or however you want to handle that. So give me just a second while I move. And I am going to see.
that looks perfect, Kim.
Yay! I've been taping videos for WellSpan, so I've gotten a fairly decent at this. Tell me volume-wise, or are you okay with hearing me? Perfect. All right, so we're going to do this seated. If you are, as best you're able, try to sit in a seat that is fairly firm. So if you're in a really soft chair right now, at the very least, come to the edge of the chair. And the only reason I say that is if you're in a soft chair, it's more difficult to sit up nice and tall. So we're going to come to a seated position. I want you to, you're not going to be able to see this. And some of this, you can close your eyes, you can take a soft gaze. Most of what I'm doing, you won't need to see. I'll walk you through by voice. When you're seated, just align your ankles right under your knees. You're going to sit up nice and tall. Align the head over the heart and the heart over the pelvis. Relax your face and relax your shoulders. And we're just going to pause here for a moment. And we're going to take some mindful breaths. I will guide you through that by voice. We're going to breathe maybe a little bit differently than we typically do. Most of the time we are very shallow breathers. I'm going to guide you through some deep breaths and diaphragmatic breathing. So we're going to be using the diaphragm. So I'm going to start talking. You just join in with the breathing as you feel comfortable. So we're going to take a nice big inhale through the nose. And as you do, matter of fact, let's put the right hand on the belly and the left hand on the chest. And we're going to take a nice big inhale in. And as you inhale in, blow the belly up with air. Feel the belly rise. Feel that right hand rise. Maybe you feel the ribs rise. Maybe you feel the chest rise. And then on the exhale, release everything. Feel the chest fall. Feel the belly relax. Nice big inhale in. Big inhale. Breathing in through the nose. Blowing up the belly with air. Feeling the ribs rise. Feeling the chest rise. Exhale. Release. Chest falls. Ribs fall. Belly deflates. Inhale. Inhale through the nose. Blow up the belly with air, ribs, chest, and then exhale, sighing it out through the nose or the mouth, whatever's most comfortable for you. Feeling everything release. We'll do one more. Inhale, fill the belly, feel the ribs rise, feel the chest rise. And then slowly this time, as slow as you're able, release the exhale, nice and slow. And then you can bring your hands down by your sides. You can let the hands dangle depending on what kind of chair you're in, or you can bring the hands to the lap, whatever's most comfortable for you. We're going to be in this position for a little while. Again, eyes can be closed, or you can have a soft gaze or eyes wide open. We're going to take a nice big breath in. And then on the exhale, allow the chin to drop down to the chest. Just let the head hang heavy here. We're still sitting up nice and tall, but not rigid. Shoulders are relaxed. Face is soft. Take another nice inhale in. Take a nice slow exhale and see if you can allow the chin to drop a little lower. Let the head lower a little further. And then from here, gently shake the head no. Just gently shake the head from side to side, taking your time. Face is soft, shoulders are relaxed. Whenever you feel balanced, come back to center, bring the chin back to the center of the chest, no rush. On your next inhale, inhale the head back up to center. Check in with your posture. We're sitting up nice and tall, but not rigid. Shoulders are relaxed and down. Face is soft. If you tend to clench the jaw, maybe you take a few circles with the jaw. And then from here, we're going to pretend our nose is a pencil, and we're going to draw circles right in front of the face. Well, and you can start in either direction. Just begin to draw a circle about the size of a saucer, like a cup and saucer plate. About the size of a saucer, either clockwise or counterclockwise. And then let's bring that circle out to about the size of a salad plate, keeping the same direction. Natural breathing. Face is soft, shoulders are relaxed. And now let's take that circle out to a dinner-sized plate. Taking our time. Your circle, maybe it doesn't look like a circle. Maybe it looks more like an oblong, depending on how tight you are in the neck. That is okay. We're going to reverse direction. Keep the dinner-sized plate circle. So go the opposite direction, but we're going to keep that big circle, that dinner-sized plate. You may hear, as I do, some nice crunchy noises. That is normal. And now let's take that circle into the salad size plate. So we're bringing it back down. Keeping in the same direction. Taking it to that salad size plate. And then let's take it down to that saucer plate. Drawing a circle in front of your face about the size of a dinner. Oh, wow, hello. A saucer. And then whenever you're ready, come back to stillness, come back to center. Pull the chin in slightly so you feel the back of the neck grow long and the crown of the head point up to the ceiling. Again, we're not sitting rigid in any way. We're going to begin to work on the neck a little bit more. So take a nice big breath in. And on an exhale, just guide your chin around to the right shoulder, like you're going to shake the head very slowly, no. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling, taking it over to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale left. Inhale to center. Exhale right. Last one to the right. Inhale to center. And exhale, last one to the left. And we inhale back to center and hold. We'll hold here for a breath. Now, if you're able, you can allow, maybe you scoot forward in your chair, come to the edge of your chair, so you can allow the arms to dangle down by your side. Again, we're sitting up tall, but not rigid. We're going to take a nice big inhale to prepare. And on an exhale, just allow the right ear to drift down toward the right shoulder. And then I want you to circle sweep that right arm up and overhead and allow the right hand to rest very gently on the side of the head. You're not pulling at all, just letting gravity do the work, letting the hand rest gently on the side of the head. And that left hand that's dangling down by the side, your side, pull the fingers up and push the palm down. You should feel a deep stretch in the neck, into the shoulder, into the chest and upper back. We'll all feel that a little bit differently depending again on how tight we are and how flexible we are in our neck. And then we're going to, that left hand, drop the fingers down toward the floor. And then circle sweep the right hand. So we're moving that right hand from the side of the head and circle sweeping the hand back down to the floor, or to our side, I should say. And then on your next inhale, whenever that is for you, we inhale the head back up to center. We'll hold there for a breath. And then we're going to take it to the other side. So take that nice big breath in. And on the exhale, allow the left ear to drift to the left shoulder. Recognize that this side may feel very, very different. Maybe it's looser, maybe it's much tighter. Again, very normal from our day-to-day movement and functioning. So the same thing on this side. I want you to circle sweep that left arm up and overhead, and then allow the left hand to rest gently on the side of the head. Again, no need to pull. And then push the palm of the right hand down toward the floor and pull the right fingers up toward the ceiling. Face is soft, shoulders are relaxed. We're still sitting up nice and tall to make our breathing much easier. And now with that right hand, allow the fingers to drift back down to the floor. Remove the left hand from the side of the head, circle sweep that hand and arm back down beside your chair or your bench, whatever you happen to be sitting on, and then inhale the head back up to center. Nice. Take a moment here to take any last little movement with the head or the neck that you feel like you need to take, whatever it may be, something we've already done, maybe it's something unique to you, and take that movement now. Maybe it's a couple more side to sides, maybe it's a shake of the head no. Take a moment, listen to your own body, whatever it is that you need. We're going to move on to the shoulders. We'll do a couple of things here, and then we'll do some spinal things, and then we will move on into a guided meditation. So from here, again, we're going to be sitting on the edge of our chair, and we're going to be taking some shoulder circles. So we're going to inhale, and as we do, bring the shoulders forward and up toward the ears. Pause here up by the ears if that's comfortable for you, as long as it's not pinching. Pause, take a nice squeeze, and then on the exhale, bring the shoulder blades back to kiss the spine and down. So we're inhaling forward and up, squeezing at the top and pausing if that's comfortable for you. Exhaling the shoulders back and down. Inhaling, shoulders forward and up. You feel the shoulder blades pull away from the spine. Pause at the top. Exhale the shoulders back and down. You feel the shoulder blades move toward the spine. One more. Inhaling the shoulders forward and up. Exhaling the shoulders back and down. Beautiful. We're going to reverse that movement. So on an inhale, shoulder blades come back toward the spine and you pull the shoulders up, pausing at the top, little squeeze. Exhale the shoulders forward and down. Inhaling the shoulders back and up, squeeze if that's comfortable at the top. Exhale the shoulders forward and down. We'll do a couple more. Inhaling back and up, squeeze a little at the top. Exhale forward and down. Last one. Inhaling the shoulders back and up. Exhaling the shoulders forward and down. We'll take a moment, either arm, doesn't matter which, just take one arm across the chest, take the opposite hand, and just give a little tug, a little pull, stretching across the top of the shoulder. Check in, shoulders are relaxed, face is relaxed. And then we'll switch to the other side. The opposite arm comes across the chest. And we give ourselves a little stretch in the shoulders. And then we'll release and relax. We're going to do a little bit of spinal warm-up. We've already kind of warmed up the top of the spine or the neck. We're going to move on to the bulk of the spine. We're going to do 3 exercises, and then we're going to move into a meditation. So again, sitting up nice and tall, it would be helpful, again, if you're sitting on the edge of whatever chair or bench that I happen to be on a piano bench. And you're sitting up nice and tall. Again, align the head over the heart over the pelvis. We're pulling the chin in slightly to lengthen the back of the neck and bring the crown of the head up toward the ceiling. Arms dangle down by the side. On an inhale, circle sweep both arms up and overhead. And on an exhale, twist to the right as you lower the arms. Again, no need to move beyond what your ability allows today. Inhale, raise the arms and unravel gently back to center. Exhale, take it to the other side. Inhale, arms rise, we unravel back to center. Exhale, twist to the right, pull the belly button gently back toward the spine. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, to the left. One more each side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, last one to the right, arms lower. Inhale, unravel to center. Exhale, twist and lower the arms. Inhale as you raise the arms, unravel back to center. This time, we're just allowing both arms to rain down. Take a moment here, take a breath or two. Maybe you roll those shoulders out again. And then we're going to move on. We'll move the spine from all 6 directions. We've done a twist to each side. We're going to move laterally this time. So what we're going to do here, and you might not be able to see me once my arms come all the way up. So what we're going to do is, I'm doing this here just so you can see, I've clasped my hands and I have my pointer finger sticking up. Some of you might remember Charlie's Angels, kind of like that, or a church steeple. So that's where we need our hands to be, and we're going to bring them up and overhead. Relax your shoulders. If your shoulders are way up here like shoulder earrings, allow them to relax. Now from here, we're going to take a nice big breath in, and on an exhale, just gently tip over to the right, making sure that you're keeping your left butt cheek tagged down on your chair. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, tip over to the left. Same thing. Opposite butt cheek stays flat. Inhale, up to center. Exhale, take it to the other side. Inhale to center. Exhale, left. Inhale to center. Pull the belly button gently back. Exhale. Last one, that was to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale. Last one to the left. Inhale to center. And then from here, I want you to take what I'm going to call cactus arms. So we're just coming out to here. I'm going to turn to the side. You guys stay right where you are. And hopefully I don't have to move too much here. Okay, I've got my cactus arms. I'm sitting up nice and tall. This move is meant to counteract this. Okay, so we have cactus arms, and take a nice big breath in. And on an exhale, begin to bring the arms behind the back. That may not be available to you. You may only get, maybe your palms of your hands are a foot apart. If you're able to bring the hands together, maybe you clasp the fingertips, maybe you clasp the fingers, maybe you bring the palms fully together. Whatever is available to you, you're sitting up nice and tall. If this movement is too intense, you can always take this same movement and stand in a corner and walk into the corner, and you'll get that same effect. But that is meant to open up the chest and counteract the back always being in this hunched position. So whenever you're ready, gently unclasp the fingers if you have them clasped. If you don't, just gently bring the hands back around to the lap. I'm going to stay, turn to the side. We're going to do one more spinal movement called cat-cow. Most people have heard of cat-cow. We'll let our hands dangle down by our sides. If that's uncomfortable, you can always slide the hands up and down the legs during this movement. I'm going to keep my hands out wide for the sake of time. We're going to take a nice big inhale, and as we do, we're going to push the tailbone back, belly button forward, chest comes forward. We're going to gaze up slightly and arms open wide. And then exhale, scoop the tailbone under, navel pulls back toward the spine, arch the upper back, and hug a big tree. Drop the chin to the chest. This is cat. We're getting ready to go into cow. Nice big inhale. Tailbone points back, belly button and chest point forward. We gaze up, open up the arms. Exhale, scoop the tailbone under, navel to spine, arch the upper back, drop the head, hug that big tree. Inhale, push the tailbone back, belly and chest forward, head comes up slightly, open up the arms. Exhale, scoop the tailbone, navel to spine, arch the upper back, drop the head, hug that big tree, and then come back into a nice seated position. I'm going to turn back towards center. So we've warmed up the neck and the spine from all 6 directions. We also gave our shoulders a little bit of a workout. I'm going to walk you through a very brief, and excuse me, I'm just going to check our time here so I don't take you over. We're going to walk through a very brief mindfulness meditation body scan. So if you want to close the eyes, if that's uncomfortable for you, you can take a soft gaze. You can turn palms face up for a more energizing hand position, or turn the palms face down for a more calming hand position. We're sitting up tall but not rigid, head over heart, heart over pelvis, face is soft, shoulders are relaxed. And as we walk through this body scan meditation, if you find yourself becoming distracted, just gently guide yourself back to the sound of my voice or the sound or sensation of your own breath. You may have to do that many, many times. For now, turn your focus to your scalp and allow your scalp to release and relax. The ears and the area around the ears release. Unwrinkle the forehead. Allow the temples to relax. The eyes and the area around the eyes softens. Cheeks are heavy. Loosen the jaw and unclench the teeth. Perhaps you part the lips slightly and allow the root of the tongue and the tongue to lay heavy at the bottom of the mouth. The whole head releases and relaxes. The neck and the shoulders soften and release. Upper arms, elbows, lower arms, wrists, palms of the hands, backs of the hands and fingers feel heavy and weighted. Torso, hips, pelvis, and bottom grow heavy in the chair. Upper legs, knees, lower legs, ankles, heels, palms of the hands, soles of the feet, tops of the feet, and toes are heavy and relaxed. The whole body grows calmer, more at peace, more at ease with each gentle breath. We'll take one last mindful breath, taking a moment here to breathe in, inhale through the nose, blow the belly up with air. Feel the ribs lift, feel the chest lift. And then nice and slowly release the breath. You can begin to bat the eyelashes open and take a soft gaze. Open the eyes. I end all my practices with a namaste, which translates roughly to the light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste.
Kim, I imagine I'm not the only one that feels like this. I personally feel like a new man. I'm sure there's a lot of women in here that feel like new women. Thank you so stinking much. Seriously, I feel fantastic.
Good. I'm so glad. It's a simple practice. You can do it at work, at home, wherever you need to be. And I am certainly available if you have any questions once we're done with all of this. I know I went a little long.
I wish you would go another half an hour.
Hey, I'm all for it. But I don't know if everybody else, they might be getting a little hungry.
Well, Yeah, they need their food, or they need a little booze, I guess, here for the evening, but some wine for the evening. But
Yeah, somebody
that
just
was awesome.
asked same time tomorrow.
Right, right. I would join. I'm just letting you know, Kim. That was seriously fantastic. I'm all about results, and seriously, before I got on this call today, I mean, I haven't been working out a ton, but my body was sore, and I think it's honestly because I've been sitting here in front of my computer screen. And
Yeah.
what you just did, I mean, I really feel loose. I think I might go and run a couple miles here this evening. So thank you.
Well, I am glad that that's the case. And oh, I just saw Rick's message pop up.
Yeah, me too.
Um, and Jordan, I'm seeing a lot pop up. I don't know if you're able to save the chat comments, because somebody's asking, can I create a handout that outlines these moves so we can do them on our own? Yep, I can do that. I don't know, Jordan, are you able to edit this so just the yoga part is available and send that out to people?
Well, I don't think I can really edit this too much, Kim, but what obviously this whole video will be available for everybody to see. So, I mean, worst comes to worst, they could, fast forward to the yoga part or whatnot.
True.
But I mean, the whole video was extremely educational. I thought you did a fantastic job, and the yoga part was phenomenal. So seriously, you did everything about this video was excellent. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I will work on a handout, and I am taping really short videos for WellSpan, but maybe I will do a 20-minute video that I can get out to folks.
That'd be perfect. Whatever you want to get out, I will help get that out as well. And to everybody here in this group, Heather was the one that asked that. Heather McKendry from the Cumberland Valley School of Music. But yeah, I know you two talk all the time. But
yep.
Yeah, obviously Heather can be more than happy to create that handout for you. So.
I know on the Healthy Franklin County website, there is a roughly 20-25 minute video that I did that's similar to this. That you could start with if you wanted to do that. It's, it's free. You just go to the website and it's there. And actually, maybe I'll send you that link, Jordan.
That'd be perfect. I'll post that with this video, matter of fact.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yep, you got it.
Well, guys, look, I really, really, really appreciate every single one of you for being here. That's what this is all about. I love to get as many people that are interested on here as possible. And Kim, you just absolutely knocked it out of the park on this power hour. So I can't thank you enough. And we really, really do all appreciate you coming on. So. Oh,
my pleasure. It certainly helps me too. So thank you for the opportunity, and thank you to everybody for the acts of service that I know you all do on a daily basis for our community. So thank you.
You're very welcome. Well, guys, have a great evening. Have even a better weekend, and we'll see y'all sometime next week. Take care, guys. See you later.
Take care.
Bye-bye.